Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into a pretty critical choice for a lot of businesses, picking the right call center software.
Yeah, get this wrong, and it can really impact your outreach, your customer service, everything.
Exactly. So we've dug into the information CyburDial provides on their own website. Our mission today is to give you a clear picture of what they offer and, maybe more importantly, why their way of doing things might be a real advantage for you.
We're aiming to go beyond just listing features. We want to unpack the strategy behind CyburDial, looking at their AI, how they handle costs, their specific tools.
And how that stacks up potentially against other options you might be considering. We'll touch on compliance, security too, all the crucial bits.
Consider this your fast track to figuring out if CyburDial is just another name on the list or maybe a genuinely better fit for your specific needs.
Okay, let's jump right in. Artificial intelligence AI. It's a huge buzzword, but CyburDial seems to put it front and center. How are they actually using it?
Well, it's not just one thing. It seems pretty integrated. First off, they're AI-driven predictive dialers. They claim these are a step up from standard ones.
How so? What makes them different, especially compared to, say, Ready Mode or Convoso, which they mention?
Good question. They suggest their AI doesn't just dial based on time zones or simple lists. It supposedly looks at historical agent performance and real-time lead scoring.
So it's trying to be smarter about when to call and who to connect the agent to.
Exactly. The goal is to adjust the dialing pace dynamically, connecting your agents with the leads most likely to convert right when they're likely available. That could directly boost your results.
That definitely sounds promising. Now, what about this AMD, their AI answering machine detection? That sounds like it could save a lot of wasted agent time.
Absolutely. And the pricing is interesting. $79 a month per asterisk server, unlimited channels. Seems focused on value right there.
But how does it work differently? They mentioned OpenAI.
Right. So think of older systems listening for just a beep or a basic robot voice. CyburDial says AMD using OpenAI is more like a language analyst. It can supposedly pick up on nuances, even complex automated messages that might fool simpler tech.
Which means fewer agents landing on voicemails.
Precisely. Higher accuracy gets your agents talking to actual humans more often. That directly impacts productivity, efficiency, and your costs.
Okay, another AI point. AI numbers for local presence. This sounds geared towards increasing pickup rates. How does that function?
Yeah, this taps into basic psychology, doesn't it? People are just more likely to answer a number they recognize as local.
So the AI automatically picks a local number for the outgoing call.
Dynamically, yes. It manages a pool of these DID numbers, assigns the right local area code to boost that answer rate, but it's not just assigning them.
Wow.
It also manages the health of that number pool, adding new DIDs when needed, but also identifying and removing numbers that get flagged as spam or nuisance. Keeps your calling reputation cleaner.
Interesting. They even mention AI in their quality control module. The details seem a bit sparse, but what could AI do for QC in a call center?
Well, even without all the specifics, you can imagine the potential. Think about AI analyzing call recordings, maybe for customer sentiment, checking script adherence automatically, identifying keywords.
So moving beyond just a human listening to a random sample of calls.
Exactly. It could offer more objective, data-driven insights into agent performance, pinpoint areas for coaching, or even flag really good calls as examples for the team. It could make quality assurance much more efficient and targeted.
All right, so AI is clearly a major theme. Let's shift gears to another area CyburDial emphasizes, their cost structure and this idea of ownership. The no-per-seat monthly charges model really stands out. Why is that significant?
It's a direct challenge to the standard SaaS model, Most platforms charge you for every single agent every month. That adds up fast, especially if you're growing.
So CyburDial doesn't do that.
They say their costs are based primarily on your actual usage, like your VoIP carrier minutes. No fixed charge per agent.
Which means more predictable budgeting, easier scaling.
That's the promise. Your costs scale with your activity, not just your headcount. For businesses with fluctuating agent numbers or rapid growth plans, that could mean serious savings and much better cost control.
And then there's the option to actually own this system.
Yeah.
That feels almost old school in a cloud world, but what's the benefit they're pitching?
It is quite unique. They offer to build a custom dialer solution right on your own server. They talk about having like 4,500 features and over 100 API functions available for this,
And the main advantage is,
completely eliminating those recurring monthly per-user fees. They've even run offers for a basic owned bill at a lower upfront cost. It shifts the expense from ongoing operational cost to a capital investment.
so potentially a higher upfront cost, but much lower or zero recurring software fees.
That seems to be the trade-off. More control, potentially huge long-term savings, especially for larger or stable teams. It gives you financial predictability that subscription models often lack.
Okay, that's a compelling financial angle. Let's talk features. Beyond the AI and cost, what does the platform actually do? What kind of functionality are we looking at?
They position it as a really comprehensive, all-in-one type solution. Multi-channel support is a big one, handling voice, email, chat, even social media all in one place.
Seamlessly switching between channels.
That's the goal. They also highlight using WebRTC technology. That's browser-based communication, audio, video, which can mean lower latency, less lag.
And potentially lower costs, right? Less
Yeah.
reliance on traditional phone lines.
Exactly. Plus, agents can apparently send emails and SMS right from their main interface. Keeps everything centralized.
Makes sense. What about automation? That's crucial for efficiency.
Yeah, they talk about a full automation system. Sounds like it has a visual drag-and-drop interface for building workflows.
Automating what kinds of tasks? Just called routing.
More than that, it seems. Things like customer follow-up, sending surveys or reminders automatically. Also, data validation, running scripted interactions. The idea is to take repetitive tasks off the agent's plates.
So agents focus on the more complex human interactions.
That's the value proposition. Free them up, ensure consistency in routine processes.
Okay, and data. You can't run a modern call center without good data. What's their reporting and analytics setup like?
They emphasize enhanced real-time reports. So, a live dashboard you can customize with the metrics you care about most.
What about looking back? Historical data.
Oh yeah, historical reporting too. Call volumes, agent productivity, customer satisfaction scores, campaign results. Pretty detailed stuff. They even mention tracking the customer journey across different channels.
Can you customize reports? Or are you stuck with predefined ones?
Sounds like customization is possible. Plus, setting up alerts for key performance indicators, integrating with other business intelligence tools if you use them, and exporting the data easily. They seem focused on giving you actionable insights.
Integration is always key, too. Does CyburDial play well with other software like CRMs?
They highlight having open APIs. Those are like the digital handshakes that let different software talk to each other.
So connected to Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho.
Yes, examples like those and other management tools. The benefit is seamless data flow, no more manual double entry, better data accuracy across systems.
And potentially building custom workflows that span multiple tools.
Exactly. It connects your call center data and operations into your wider business ecosystem. More efficiency, better reporting overall.
All right, let's talk compliance. This is absolutely critical, especially for outbound dialing. How does CyburDial help businesses stay on the right side of regulations like FCC, TCPA?
This seems to be a major focus area for them. Their AI predictive dialer isn't just about efficiency. They claim its algorithms help manage drop rates to stay within FCC limits.
How? By being smarter about call pacing?
Yes, through dynamic analysis, smart scheduling, adaptive dialing. They also mention specific features like a configurable drop timer with the required safe harbor message.
What about other regulations? FTC, TCPA's rules about cell phones.
They mention adjustable drop call percentages for FTC compliance, and importantly, cell phone filtering capabilities to help adhere to TCPA rules. Plus, robust do not call list management system-wide per campaign, even for inbound calls.
Okay, that covers dialing compliance. What about general data security and privacy? Things like GDPR, maybe HIPAA for healthcare-related calls, or PCI for payments.
They seem to cover those bases too. They talk about encryption for data transmission, end-to-end encryption for chat, secure storage, standard but essential security practices.
And aligning with specific regulations.
Yeah, they explicitly mention GDPR alignment and features supporting IPA compliance, things like secure data transmission, encrypted storage, strict access controls, which are vital if you're handling health information.
What about handling payments? That requires PCI DSS compliance.
Right. They state they are PCI DSS compliant, using measures like encrypted communication with payment processors, tokenization to avoid storing raw card data, regular audits, and integrating only with compliant payment gateways.
It sounds like they've built in features to tackle a lot of the typical headaches call centers face. Can we summarize those main pain points they seem designed to solve?
Definitely. You see a clear line drawn from their features to common problems. High operating costs, tackled by the no-per-seat model and the ownership option.
Inefficient dialing, agents wasting time.
Addressed by the AI predictive dialer and the high-accuracy AMD day. Compliance worries. They've built in features for FCC, TCPA, DNC, and mentioned GDPR, HEPA, PCI support.
What about confusing pricing from other vendors?
They counter that with their usage-based model, aiming for more transparency. And concerns about scaling up or down, their model is designed to be flexible for that.
Beyond the tech and features, they also talk about support and partnership. What's the message there?
They position themselves as more than just software providers. They talk about having a dedicated expert support team for onboarding and ongoing help.
So not just leaving you to figure it out alone.
That's the implication. They frame it as a partnership, focused on helping you improve customer interactions and operational efficiency. Their origin story kind of feeds into this too.
Ah, yes, the story behind the brand, the Phoenix logo. Tell us about that again.
Right, the phoenix rising from the ashes. It directly represents the owner's personal experience during the COVID pandemic, facing significant hardship, even homelessness, apparently, and then envisioning this remote work solution.
So it symbolizes resilience, transformation.
Exactly. Those are the core values, they say, underpin the company overcoming adversity, transforming challenges into opportunities. It adds a layer of narrative beyond just the technical specs.
So wrapping this all up, if you're a business evaluating call center solutions, what's the essential value proposition CyburDial seems to be offering? What makes them potentially different?
I think it boils down to this. They're pushing a narrative of AI-driven intelligence for real efficiency gains, combined with a fundamentally different, potentially much more cost-effective pricing model that avoids per-seat charges.
Plus, a very broad feature set and a strong focus on ticking the boxes for security and compliance.
Absolutely. They're aiming to solve those core call center frustrations, cost, inefficiency, compliance headaches, scaling issues, and position themselves as a supportive partner, not just a software vendor. The ownership option is a really unique angle, too.
It definitely gives you a lot to think about, considering how customer communication keeps evolving and how vital efficiency and compliance are. Well, you have to ask yourself, could an approach like CyburDial's, with its heavy lean into AI and those unique cost options, actually reshape how you run your call center? Could it offer a real competitive edge?
Yeah, and thinking about the specific pain points we discussed, which one hits closest to home for your operation right now? High costs, compliance fears, dialing inefficiency, and how might specific CyburDial features map directly onto solving that particular problem for you?
Something to definitely mull over. Thanks for exploring CyburDial with us on this deep dive.